we detected a second pattern. I downloaded the app after about 2 straight weeks of barely sleeping. The kind of sleep where you wake up every hour feeling like something is off, but you can't explain what. Like your body never fully shuts down and your brain just keeps running in the background. It wasn't stress or caffeine or anything obvious either, which made it worse because I had no reason for it. I'd go to bed exhausted and still wake up in the middle of the night with this weird, hollow feeling in my chest, like I'd forgotten to breathe for too long and my body had to jolt itself back on. After a while, I stopped trusting my own breathing, so I found the app. It had good reviews, simple concept. It listens to your breathing and helps regulate it with slow, guided patterns so your body can relax naturally instead of forcing sleep. That sounded exactly like what I needed. The first night I used it, it worked almost immediately. I lay there with my phone on my chest, watching the dim circle expand and contract, while a quiet voice guided me through slow, steady breaths. And for the first time in a while, my chest didn't feel tight or uneven. I didn't wake up once. The second night was the same, maybe even better. I remember thinking how stupid it was that something this simple fixed what had been going on bothering me for weeks, but I didn't question it too much because I finally felt normal again. By the third night, it had become routine. Lights off, phone on my chest, follow the rhythm, inhale, exhale. My breathing lined up with it almost perfectly now, like my body had learned it. The fourth night was when something felt slightly off. Not wrong, just different. The pacing was a little slower than I remembered, like the app had adjusted to me, but it still felt natural enough that I followed it without thinking too much about it. I slept fine. The fifth night, I woke up. Not fully, just enough to be aware. The room was completely dark, and the only light was from my phone screen resting on my chest. The circle was still moving, expanding, contracting, but my breathing wasn't matching it. At first I thought I was just out of sync from waking up, so I tried to follow it again, slowing my breathing down to match the pattern on the screen. But something felt wrong. The timing didn't line up no matter how I adjusted, so I stopped breathing for a second. Just to rest. The circle didn't stop. It kept moving at the same steady pace, like it was tracking something that hadn't paused. Then the voice spoke, calm and quiet like it always had been. We've detected a second breathing pattern, sinking now. I frowned, still half asleep, trying to make sense of it. Second pattern? There shouldn't be anything else. I lived alone. I stayed still, listening. At first I didn't hear anything, just silence. Then after a few seconds, I heard it. A breath. It was faint, but it was there. Slow. Controlled. And it wasn't mine. I felt my chest tighten as I listened harder, trying to figure out where it was coming from. But the sound didn't echo or carry like something outside the room. It felt close. Too close. The app continued, unfazed. Primary user detected. Second pattern stabilizing. My heart started beating faster, but I forced myself to stay still, telling myself there had to be a normal explanation, something small and stupid I wasn't thinking of. Maybe pipes, maybe something outside. Then I heard it again, closer, from inside the room. I slowly lifted my head, scanning the darkness even though I couldn't see anything beyond vague shapes. Door still closed, closet still shut. Nothing moved. The breathing continued, steady, patient. The app screen shifted slightly in my hand, and new text appeared. 2 users detected. That's when I noticed something else. The breathing the app was following wasn't mine anymore. I tried to match it, but I couldn't. It was too controlled, too even, like it wasn't reacting to anything, just continuing. Then I heard it again, clearer this time. From the side of the bed, something shifted. A small, subtle dip in the mattress. I froze. Every part of me locked in place as I stared into the dark, trying to force my eyes to adjust, trying to see anything at all. Another breath. Right there. I moved slowly, carefully reaching for my phone, my hand shaking just enough to make the light flicker as I turned on my flashlight. The beam cut across the room. Wall, desk, chair, nothing. The breathing didn't stop. I swallowed hard and lowered the light toward the edge of the bed, my pulse hammering in my ears as I forced myself to look. At first I didn't see anything, just shadow. Then the light caught something. A face. A man was lying on his side on the floor, pressed up against the edge of my bed, so close his cheek was nearly touching the mattress. His eyes were open, wide, locked on me. He didn't move, didn't speak. He just kept breathing, slow, controlled, exactly in time with the app. For a second, neither of us moved. Then he inhaled, and my chest followed. Sharp, involuntary. I jerked back, panic hitting all at once as I tried to scramble away. But before I could get off the bed, his hand shot up and grabbed my arm. Hard, too fast. I tried to scream, but the sound caught in my throat as he pulled himself up in one smooth motion, his grip tightening as he climbed onto the bed like he'd done it before. The phone slipped from my hand, the light spinning wildly across the walls before landing sideways on the mattress, still illuminating both of us. The app's voice remained calm, synchronization in progress. He didn't rush, didn't panic. He just moved closer, one hand still locked around my arm, the other reaching up and wrapping around my throat. I fought back, kicked, pulled, tried to pry his hand off, but he didn't react, didn't hesitate. He just kept breathing, slow, steady, and with every breath he took, his grip tightened. My lungs started to burn, vision blurring at the edge as I struggled to get air in, my body fighting against something that wasn't slowing down. The app updated, sync, 100%. His face got closer to mine, expression empty, focused, still breathing, always breathing. My hands weakened, movement slowed. The last thing I saw before everything went dark was the phone screen, still glowing beside us. Breathing synchronized. Sleep well.